Hello. So, if you don't know who I am, that's totally fine. I'm going to tell you, I am some random person on the internet who lives in an entirely different country. Although I was born in the USA, I am currently living in Germany. And for some people on the internet, this is some people's biggest dream, which is to live in an entirely different country from the one that which they were born and raised. And so, I am here to answer some ChatGPT questions, some quote unquote juicy ChatGPT questions about my life in Germany and some questions that some people might have. So let's get to it. Okay, the first question is, what's the most be so for real Germany moment you've had? And the thing about living in Germany specifically, I would say that it's not entirely different from the States, to the point where I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like in an entirely different world. Like when I was 15, I visited China, and that was like being in an entirely different world. But here it's more like the States, except it's not, because English is not the main language, and also it's 4,000 miles away. So the most be so for real moment, I would say, when I was in Rewe, this very popular supermarket, which could be compared to like Whole Foods, Walmart, or if I think harder about it, I'm sure I could find other alternatives to it, to the US. Okay, the food comes from the conveyor belt and it goes to this part where, usually someone would go and bag your groceries, in the part where the food goes. But instead, like in Germany, you have to bag your own groceries. I didn't finish bagging up my items in time because I didn't realize how fast I had to go, because like they're not going to wait for you. The person working there is not going to wait for you to bag up all your items before they move on to the next person. Like, you need to hurry up, quickly bag up all of your items, and then go home, leave the store. And so I didn't know all of this. So here I am, there's like a little divider between the two parts. The first part is like where the food was for your stuff, and then the second part, usually whatever the other part is, just for the other person's food. But I was like, she had put it in my part, and then like the other part, I was using it for my bag. Like, I didn't realize that that divider was there. Anyway, my bag's on the other side, and then this woman, she looks at me. She doesn't, I didn't, like, how could she know that I don't speak German at the time? I was not speaking German well enough, besides saying hello, goodbye, thank you. How does she know that I did not speak German well enough? I have no idea. Well, it's clearly because I was obviously not used to this system, this unspoken system of how things go and work at the supermarket. And so she's like, looks at me and she goes, pick a side. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, because I feel like in the US, people are going to be like, excuse me, ma'am, can you leave some space for the next person? Just so you know, this side. Yeah, just leave that space for the next person. That would be really appreciated. People would be very nice about it. And I feel like she was just like, she literally just looked at me and she was like, pick a side. So yeah, that was my be so for real moment. Took me 3 minutes to explain that, but anyway, going on to the next question. So the next question is, um, okay, what's the weirdest thing someone has said to you because you're American? So obviously, I am Black American, and I would say that the two weirdest things that people have said to me because I'm American is also because I'm Black American. And so both of these comments came from someone who is white German, and the other comment came from someone who is African, someone who's from an African country. I don't remember which one. I think like Nigeria. No, he's from Ghana. And so the first comment came from the guy who was Ghanaian, came from Ghana. And I was like, yeah, I'm obviously like, I don't know how we got to the topic. We were all at like this bar with some friends, and this guy, I don't really even know him so well. He's like a friend of a friend. But anyway, we were all having a conversation, and he's like, But like you're not, you're black, but you're not African American. Like you say you're African American, but you're not even African. And I was like, like, okay, yeah, yeah, certainly. I'm not like, I wasn't born in an African country. I wasn't raised in an African country. I know that I'm not like, I don't have the same experiences as you. That's clear to me. Like when I say that I'm African American, I'm saying like I literally took a DNA test that proved that I am from Mali, Ghana, Nigeria, some other places I forgot, Benin and Togo. Like these are the places that which my DNA test told me that I'm from these places. And then he's like, yeah, but you're not from those places. You're just American. Like you're not you're not me. Like you're not like me. And like you're saying the obvious. Like I know I'm not like you. Like I'm black too, but I'm not nationally from these places. I'm ethnically from these places. I have a DNA test to prove that my ancestors came from these places. And so just became this whole thing. This whole thing. Whatever. I don't even know. That was a weird conversation, and it's like he just wanted to be divisive. And it's like, look, I know we have two different experiences. I wasn't born and raised in Nigeria. I wasn't born and raised in Ghana. I wasn't born and raised in Mali. But these are the places that which years ago, when we think about the Atlantic slave trade, my ancestors came from these places, were forcibly taken out of their homes from these places to the USA, and that's and somehow also probably you know had children with each other. Like do I need to give you a history lesson right now? Like why am I explaining this? Ugh, ugh. So anyway, yeah, that whole thing happened, and then the other comment was from this white German, also like really young guy, probably like he was literally 20, and he was like he was like, oh, you're American? Like I was at a party. This is actually so recent. I was at a party, and um this white German was like, oh, you're American? Wow, you don't look like the typical American. I don't know the typical. I'm like, what? There's no such thing as a typical American. Again, history, guys. Do I need to explain to you that the typical American is a Native American whose land was stolen from them from white people? Like, I don't know, this is like a weird conversation. I didn't get into that. I didn't go there, but I could have went there. But anyway, that was just a weird comment. So yeah, typical American, not me, not I, apparently. Um, like what? Anyway, so the next question I'm gonna answer is, hmm, do Germans really stare? And how do you deal with it? So I would say like the first 6 months of me living in Germany was me constantly undergoing this process of understanding this concept of the German stare. And it's definitely jarring at first to be constantly stared at, or to also see other people like staring at other people. For example, I was on the U-Bahn, which is like the subway in Germany, and I saw this young guy, like really young kid, staring at this older woman. And I think this older woman was like staring at somebody else. When I say staring, it's like literally, I'm looking at you like this for like 10 minutes, like unblinkingly so. And this is just a concept that I was conditioned not to partake in because it's seen as offensive where I come from. And yeah, I just found that very jarring. Even if I'm walking on the street and if I look people, like I've just grown conditioned, like I cannot look at people in the eyes on the street anymore, because if I do, look at other people, I'll find so many people looking at me, like walking past like this, like looking at me like unblinkingly. Like it's not even the up and down. It's more like straight in the eyes, like I see you. And this is really uncomfortable. This is really uncomfortable. And apparently, like I've talked to other Germans about it, and a lot of them just don't realize that it's a thing. They don't realize that it's something that you shouldn't do, or well, obviously, like they're not taught that you shouldn't do it because it's not a negative thing here. It's not seen as a negative thing, I don't think. Um, where I come from, it's different. We see it as a negative thing. So it's just two different cultures. And then when I'm here, I see it all the time. I see it amongst other people. I see people doing it to me. And now I've even come to the realization that I do it myself unknowingly sometimes too. And I'm almost afraid of going back to the States because like if I don't think someone's looking at me, I'm going to like stare them if I'm like, especially if I'm fascinated by them, if I find something intriguing, if I'm curious about a situation, if I just like the way someone looks, whatever, I'm going to stare. If I think someone needs help, if I think someone is weird, like I just stare. I don't look away anymore. So, yeah, I think that is like the German stare is literally a real thing. What's one thing nobody warned you about? So something no one warned me about was yes, well, people will warn you about the German stare online. If you do your research, you'll find that the German stare like is really something that a lot of foreigners are, just surprised by and have to get used to, especially Americans, I feel like. But something else somebody warned you about is like how you are going to need to stick up for yourself in this country where you you do not know people, people do not know you. Some people also take advantage of the fact that you are a foreigner. You need to be careful to stick up for yourself, and if someone talks bad to you, you need to know how to talk to stand up for yourself, because I think also in some families, depending on where you're coming from, people are taught how to be nice to others, but people are not taught how to be nice to themselves. And I think a part of being nice to yourself is understanding that you're like a child, that someone has to look out for you, and you have to be that person that looks out for you. And so if someone were to talk to a child the way that they talk to you, you would say something, right? And this is especially for people who are people pleasers. Therefore, if someone talks to me some old kind of way, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. So I think I've grown to understand that I need to stick up for myself. I need to be that person that sticks up for myself. Nobody warned me that that was gonna have to be the case. Nobody warned me how people really do say what's on their mind. Like, especially, I don't know if it's like passive aggression or just aggression, but some people are just really, stank face all the time, 24/7. You go to a store, you walk inside the store, cafe, retail store, there's not going to be that, hi, how are you today? How's it going? No, it's going to be more of like a, hello, hello, hello. Or maybe there's nothing at all. Maybe no one says anything to you at all. Some people just have an attitude for no reason. Like they just had a bad day. But why is it that so many people are like that? Like I genuinely don't understand what is happening here. Like what are they putting in the bread? I don't know. But it's like some people are just so mean for no reason. So you need to know you got to have that joy, bring that energy for yourself. Like I'm going to be nice regardless. I'm going to be nice because I'm in a good mood today. No one's going to mess it up. Or sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to give them their energy back. I'm going to give you energy back. So no thank you. Like politeness out the window. Okay. How do Germans react to your natural hair or braids? I get a mix. I get mixed replies. And before moving to Germany, some people tell me Germans are not as nice as Americans. Germans this, Germans that, and I know I'm basically contradicting myself from the last thing, but let me explain. Sometimes people are absolutely bad, but sometimes, just like any place in the world, some people are also just really lovely and so kind for no reason. Like they will go out of your way to give you a compliment. And so this happened a few times, this happened a few times. I was walking in the U-Bahn station and I had like little curls. My hair was in curls. And then some some guy, like I was with my mom too. This was the first few weeks in Germany. First of all, few weeks in Germany, like some guy literally went out of his way to be like, your hair is so nice. And like the compliment didn't feel microaggressive. It felt, I mean, it was a compliment, but really it felt genuine. And I really, like, I remember that to this day. This also happened again when my mom and I were out. We were walking, and some young girls came up to me again and was like, you are so beautiful. Like, I heard before I came to Germany that people are not this nice, that people will not compliment you. So this really made an impression on me. This really made me feel like, wow, this is fun. Like, oh my gosh, some people can be just as nice as Americans. And I do feel like some Americans, like, we get a bad rep that we're like not genuine sometimes. But I really do like a part of our culture how it's about complimenting each other and being there for each other, or like, just spreading positivity. And I really just like, I love seeing that abroad too, especially in Germany, in a place where not many people are like that at all. I've gotten really positive reactions to my natural hair, and I've also gotten some strange reactions from some older people. Um, like literally on the street, there will be some cute little grannies walking around, walking their dogs. It's happened about twice, at least twice or three times. Um, Walking their dog, especially the ones who be walking their dog for some reason. Um, these little grannies, they had come up to me like, oh my gosh, like, oh, deine Haare ist so schön. Wow, dein Haare ist so schön. And then I was like, danke, danke schön. Like, what else can I say? Thank you. And then all of a sudden, I see a hand coming out of nowhere. Dein Haare. And then they're like touching my hair. What can I say? I don't mind it. Like, they're old grannies. So, do they know better? Maybe, but they're grannies. What can I say? Do Germans flirt differently than Americans? So, I'm gonna say that Germans do flirt differently than Americans. I think we have different archetypes of the American man, right? In the US. We have different because we have different people. We have different archetypes, we have different cultures. And it's the same in Germany as well. But if we're talking about the German man, I would say they do flirt differently. They are this seems to be the approach from my experience. Okay, I can't speak about other cultures. Honestly, I don't know. But I'm speaking from my own experience. So, from what I found, the typical thing seems to be eye contact. Okay, that's the first thing. That's the first thing. If they keep looking over to you, it's not a coincidence. Something about you charms them. If you're constantly making eye contact with someone on the street, this is not a coincidence. No. Um, and so I also find like I was in the bars a few times when I was in the bar, I would find that like if someone starts talking it up to you, start talking it up with you, like even if it's very, very, very small talk, it's not a coincidence because Germans do not do small talk. Like literally, they don't talk. Okay, they look, they stare, and it ends there. But if they go to the extra mile to say something, even if it's something as simple as the music or um, do you have any suggestions on what to get from the bar? Do you have any suggestions? That's not a coincidence. They're flirting with you. They want you. Okay, they want to spark up a conversation. They want to be with you. And so yeah, I would say definitely Germans flirt differently. It's a lot more subtle, and also gives the woman feel like maybe it gives the woman. Sorry, I spoke German there. Gives the woman spoke German there. It gives the woman the opportunity to invite the man into to invite the man to keep flirting, I guess. Like, for example, also if you're at the club and he's dancing next to you, he keeps looking over to you, you know, if you look over to him and kind of like shows body language that you're open, that you also find him attractive, then that leads to something more, you know, that leads to the next step of having a conversation. So it's not so much in your face. Like, I feel like American men will come up to you, I just want to say you are beautiful. Can I get your number? Like, they don't do all that. They take it real slow, okay? Um, with strangers, they take it slow. So, if you want a part two, I can give y'all a part two. Like, I don't even know if anybody's gonna watch this. Maybe I'm talking to myself. So, bye.